Hi, we are going to talk a little bit more about the density of liquids. So what you're going to do is find a couple of small objects. I have a couple of wooden beads, a marble, a coin, a little piece of aluminum foil, a bead, a little tiny Lego, a piece of pasta to work from. And you're going to need your the sheet. I've already filled mine out a little bit, but we'll get to that in 1 second. So what you're going to do is find 3 different liquids that are different densities. Yours may be different than mine because it depends on what you have around. But I'm going to put my dish soap at the bottom. Oops, didn't mean to do that. All right, this is the most dense. The molecules are the most tightly packed, so that's why I put it at the bottom. Then I'm going to take some blue water. Tilt it a little bit so that it doesn't make that many bubbles. If I can. The water is less dense, so you will see the difference between the soap and the water. You will see the blue layer above the green layer. And finally, I'm going to put some oil in, and the oil is the least dense, so it kind of floats on the top. I'm going to try to do this really slowly. So it sits ever so nicely on the top of my other layers so that you can see the difference. Okay, so we have 3 distinct layers. We have my green dish soap, my blue water, and my yellow oil. So you're going to get your sheet like this. You can color your layers like I did, or you don't have to. I only colored them on one side just to show you. So this is layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3. So I want you to write what you used. So I wrote layer 1 was dish soap, layer 2 was water, and layer 3 was oil. So this is the prediction side, and this is the result side, because we are going to predict whether we think something will float or sink, and where will it end up. So I'm going to take my little tiny round Lego, and I'm going to predict that it is going to float right at the top of the oil. That's my prediction. So when you have your sheet on you'd put it right above the yellow. So then we're going to put it in. Okay. Looks like my prediction was correct, that floated right on the top of the oil. Okay, but it does look like it's sinking a little bit, so who knows. So I'm going to leave that in there just because I want to see what happens. I'm going to take my penny. I think my penny's going to sink all the way to the bottom because my penny's kind of heavy. So, and that was my prediction was correct. It did. I'm going to take this. I have a little yellow heart bead. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to think that also it's going to float right above the oil. Let's see what happens. Ooh, wait a minute. It is on top of the blue water. Oh, it sunk to the blue water, but notice it didn't go down into the dish soap. So it floated in the blue area. All right, so now I have a piece of pasta. Maybe I'll think that this is going to do the same thing as that heart bead and float on top of the dish soap, but sink in the water. Let's see what happens. Oh, it looks like it's sinking all the way down to the bottom, it looks like. Can you see that? It sunk all the way to the bottom. All right, let's see. My foil, it's really light, so I'm going to predict that it's going to float on the top. Yep. All right, now I have a wooden bead. I think this is going to float in the blue. I think it's going to be between the blue and the yellow. So it's going to float on top of the blue. So sink in the oil, but float on top of the water. Let's see. Can you see that? See my green bead? It's right here. There you go. It seems like it's going down a little bit. Ooh, there it goes. Let's see. It's kind of hanging there. I have another wooden bead too. I'm going to try that one right next to it and see if there's any difference between the two of those beads. They have a little hollow inside, so they may just be filling that up to see. And then last but not least, right now I have a marble. I'm going to guess my marble's going all the way down to the bottom. That's my prediction. And it did. And it did. So this is interesting. We had some things that floated, that heart bead. Now it's down in the dish soap, so it eventually sunk down a little bit more. But see, you can play with your objects. You can find different objects, find different liquids. Try it again with other liquids and see what happens. Be sure to record your results. So I would record down here my coin and my marble, my heart bead up here. So you look at your layers and where they turned out to be and record them on your recorder. So enjoy. Have fun experimenting. Bye-bye.